The organism I chose for my scavenger hunt project was the blue crayfish. The organism I chose for my scavenger hunt project was the blue crayfish. The questions I will be answering are: where did you find your organism? How is your organism classified? What is the natural habitat for your organism? What adaptations does your organism possess that allow it to be successful in its natural habitat? And what does the life cycle look like? I found my organism swimming in my fish tank. This organism is scientifically named Procambarus alleni, classified under the crustaceans group of the pancrustaceans. Known by many as the electric blue crayfish or the Florida crayfish, this organism hails from Florida, specifically areas east of St. Johns River, various locations south of Levy and Marion counties, and even some of the Florida Keys. They are the most common type of crayfish found in the Everglades, where they thrive in the marshes and lakes. In fact, this is the only crayfish species native to the state of Florida. Alternative names for this crayfish include the blue crayfish, Everglade crayfish, and Florida crayfish. Interestingly, it is the lack of a particular gene that causes the bright blue coloration of these crayfish shells. These crayfish can grow 4 to 6 inches, or 10 to 15 centimeters in length, living in water that is 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The blue crayfish are a genetic oddity, a blue color morph of the common brown paper shell crayfish. This bright blue color is the effect of a lack of a specific gene that causes them to change from their regular brown-red color. The brown or Connectus immunis are commonly sold as fishing bait. The Procambarus alleni also is a color morph, this species including blue and brown crayfish. Many of the Procambarus alleni are raised on farms in Florida and are the ones commonly found in pet shops. These crayfish can live, and are mostly seen, in almost any freshwater aquarium and are among the toughest freshwater tank inhabitants available. These animals are active creatures that love to explore, known for keeping tanks clean and free of waste. These crayfish can live up to 5 or 6 years old with the proper care. If kept in a tank with other crayfish or other large types of fish and invertebrates, it is important that they have plenty of hiding spaces, as they are especially vulnerable when they are shedding their exoskeleton. An interesting fact is that it is normal for a crayfish to eat their exoskeleton after molting. Crayfish will typically eat whatever they can catch, but since they are slow-moving, they are rarely able to harm most types of fish or shrimp. Crayfish are opportunistic omnivores, eating just about anything. This includes plants, snails, small fish, and insect larvae, as well as dead or decaying plants and animals. They do not hunt in the traditional sense, but will use their large claws, found on their first set of legs, to their advantage, grabbing at any creature that swims too close to them. The smaller claws, on their second and third legs, are used to continuously search the ground around them for food. Crayfish raised on farms or kept as pets typically eat sinking pellets. Shrimp pellets and algae tabs are highly recommended. Fresh shrimp, on the other hand, are dangerous to crayfish as they can carry common diseases. Crayfish love to feed on vegetation, so a variety of marine plants is recommended as well. The large pinchers of crayfish, compared to their body size, grab and hold prey, help ward off predators by raising and waving their pinchers, and are used to help dig burrows. These organisms burrow to protect themselves from dry conditions. In effect of the warm climate, they do not need to burrow during the winter months, and they breed throughout the year. The blue color of the crayfish can molt off, but can potentially come back after the crayfish has eaten their blue exoskeleton. Their normal coloring is gray or brownish gray. Like all crustaceans, the crayfish starts as an egg. The eggs are fertilized outside the female's body from sperm that was previously deposited in her seminal receptacle. Once fertilized, the female secretes a glue-like substance to stick the eggs to her legs and underbelly. The eggs can then take as long as 20 weeks to hatch. Although under ideal conditions, it takes only 2 to 3 weeks. Immediately after hatching, the young crayfish molt still adhere to the mother's body. The newly hatched crayfish will stay attached to the mother for another 2 to 4 weeks, when they will then molt a second time and become independent from the mother. The young do not grow quickly, often taking 2 to 3 years before reaching sexual maturity.